Hey guys, we're the Faruqi brothers, so family affair style interview.
Oh,
So
I
very
see it
excited.
now.
Yeah, the resemblance is there.
Well, no, I was looking at the
Um,
last name. Actually, I finally got
right.
the Faruqi part. I didn't see that at first. Yeah.
No, but this is actually a great moment for us because you guys have been a huge part of our childhood. So hearing the voices of our childhood in front of us, interviewing them is an absolute honor. So thank you so much for sitting with us.
Thank you.
My first question is for you, Sean. I
Yeah.
mean, after 20 plus years in this franchise, how do you as an actor keep the voice of Goku fresh and then also look at the material fresh year after year? Did you personally get tired of it, or is it always exciting for you every time you get a chance to go to Goku again?
Yeah. Well, part of it comes from my classical music and music background training. So, a big part of keeping the voice fresh is making sure you're using the right vocal techniques in the booth, which I was a brass player for many, many years in orchestras. And when you go to classical music school and you learn to play concertos, one of the things you learn is you're going to play this concerto 1,000, 10,000 times. And every time you play it, you got to make it sound like it's fresh and wonderful. So my mindset is always, when I'm playing Goku, my mindset's always, I'm always where he is. And I doesn't matter what I think if I've had to, tell the same original Dragon Ball story between multiple video games and two different series between Kai and thus it's a great story that you can listen to over and over. So it doesn't, and as far as keeping it fresh, any freshness that, any story changes or character changes or freshness oftentimes comes from the mind of Akira Toriyama himself. As we noticed in Super, it's there's more fun involved. It's kind of Super reminds me of a mashup between original Dragon Ball and Z, that you've got grid epic battles, but you have a lot more slice of life, a lot more comedy. Goku's a little bit goofier, etc. And I don't have any control over that. So I'm always digging into the source material and trying to find, whatever Akira Toriyama says publicly on it and whatever. And I have my own, attitude toward the character. So it's part technique, and then it's part just like a mental attitude towards performance art, which is, no matter how many times you go on stage, it's got to be fresh every time. And every time I go in the booth, it's like being on stage. So that's kind of how I approach it.
I was waiting for you, Sean, in that last part to go like, "Oh man, I hate it. It's boring. Like, I just step in there and just kind of do whatever.
Whatever. I'm
Goku, man. Well, I don't have to think about that.
No,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, I know you are. I know you are. It's all good.
So I guess this one will be for Kyle. Obviously, playing a character for so many years, you build a connection with the character, and you have certain ideas of where you want the character to go and the story to go for him. With Gohan, we've seen after like the Cell Saga and his story, he kind of always goes through this roller coaster where he leaves the fighting behind, and then within the series, he has to boost up again with Ultimate Gohan, the Majin Buu Saga, and then in Dragon Ball Super again, and now in his arc in this film. For you playing Gohan, do you want him now, after this film, to continue focusing on fighting and making that an importance just as much as his academic side, or do you not mind him going back and forth, back and forth?
I think him adding that dimension to his plate is totally doable, and I am all for it because it's been a long wait, as any fan knows, to see him focus on academics or his marriage or parenthood or whatnot. And these aspects of family are obviously very, very important. But in a show that is driven by these big over the top spectacle action things, and he is such a pivotal member of that whole team, it's great to have an opportunity to show him expand his repertoire and say, "Hey guys, I'm here. I can contribute. I'm good for it." Little things like that.
I just realized there's 3 Faruqi brothers in this room. There's a third one. And the other one started talking, and I'm like, wait a second. He was over there. And then he's a different guy. And then there's one in the middle who looks like he's moved to tears by Kyle's answer. Samir looks like he's moved to tears. I think it's beautiful,
Yeah,
Samir.
I get that a lot. A lot of people say I always look like I'm crying.
But it's beautiful. I mean, the chicks dig it, man. I'm sorry. We're distracted. Let's keep going. Sorry, Kyle. I was tripping on 3 Faruqis. I didn't realize. Sorry.
That is all good.
Yes.
That is all good. But yes,
answer, Kyle.
That's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
My question is more of a broader question for any of you guys can take it. Do you guys get a sense that excitement around Dragon Ball will continue to grow over the next decade? Because so many franchises suffer from audience fatigue. What is it about Dragon Ball that you guys find unique and that keeps the ball rolling?
I think I mean, I'm going to answer first because I jumped in, but I think I've thought about this a lot because I was asked this question when I first got on the show, and I didn't realize the real power of Dragon Ball and Akira Toriyama. And having been part of the franchise for so long, he is just a genius when it comes to recycling old characters, making them fresh, doing tangents, doing a different curveball here and there, mixing it up. I mean, it really boils down to Akira Toriyama Sensei, and he is. I have noticed, and I'm sure Chris and Kyle would agree, this is a brand that should have theme parks everywhere. That could be, just beyond like just a staple, just like any other big brand like that is in the world. It's pretty much that right now. I just think it has room to go up. It's there's so many characters and it's such a rich universe, and then there's the generational aspects of it with potential of the children and the grandchildren doing storylines, like we have here with Gohan and Piccolo, and even Goten. Now we've seen tween Goten, and is that a spoiler? Sorry, let me give a spoiler. We have tween Goten and tween Trunks on the movie. But anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Chris, Kyle, you answer that. Sorry. I'm trying to give a good answer here. I'm just, I mean that, but I'm just like,
I think it was a very good answer, Sean. Like, I think the Dragon Ball has had its evolution kind of slowly enough for there not to be a ton of fatigue. It's not like they're releasing a new film every year, or they just constantly bombarding us with one new series after the next. I think they've been taking their time and doing it right. I'd love to see some more. I think there's a lot of people, and we meet a lot of fans out there who would love to see more Super happen.
The biggest request I get, Chris, is for Dragon Ball GT, for more of those elements to appear in Z, particularly Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Sure.
I get that request a lot. And since we're seeing Pan, which is borrowed from G, I'm wondering if they're going to start borrowing from non-canon like they've done a bit, and maybe bring back Launch like you keep telling me about,
Resurrection L, I keep pitching everybody on that idea. I think that Dragon Ball has a lot of room to grow, and plus these characters mean so much to people.
Oh yeah,
they're connected. It's tattooed on people's bodies. Like it means so, like these characters and these long shows like these have helped people cope through the most painful times in their lives. Like these are people who've dealt with long illnesses or bad family situations at home, and these are shows that like really have traveled with people's family and moved from a father and watching it with the son. And they're, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, because I think really the sky's the limit. And from what I'm seeing of the manga these days, there's a bunch of great material out there still that's yet to be seen.
I was thinking about this same thing, the same question that you asked, like, why is this so entertaining? And I mean, it's just everything. It's the characters, it's the writing, it's the show, it's even the adaptations for how they adapt it into English, in my opinion. Some of the lines that I have seen throughout the entire series are just amazing and hilarious, and, would not be that way if it wasn't for the amazing work of the writers and the director, Chris, doing such a phenomenal job, always just having a hand in it, knowing what it is that the core Dragon Ball fans want, and just constantly delivering it every single time.
Yeah.
Yep. You're seeing.
Go back to. Sorry. Continue.
I was just going to say, you see families go to conventions, and you see the father, the mothers, and the children, and they're all cosplaying together, or some even name their kids after characters from the show. So yeah, that's some sort of that is a level of dedication right there.
There are folks that have uncomfortably have asked us to tattoo our signatures on their arms. I mean, I don't do the tattoo work myself. Like, for example, Kyle has my signature on his arm. No, he doesn't. But Kyle's got a tattoo of Sean Shells.
People have asked me to do that before, and I've thought about having some sort of fake contract that says, like, if I ever need some sort of organ transplant, that I have a right to choose from anyone that my signature is on. It's basically authenticated their bodies.
Authenticated. But Samir, you make a great point. Like, it's a great question. And I personally believe, having been on it this long, that it absolutely has the power and the breadth to endure for decades to come, long after I'm gone, easily. I hope it does.